Well, hello and welcome. This is the Bredok's 737 Max version 2. It was released fairly recently, and having purchased the original quite a long time ago, thinking, oh, it can't be that bad, and then realising pretty quickly that, yeah, it was actually that bad. I thought I would have a look at version 2, only because there was an upgrade price, so it only cost me $6 or $6.30. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? Well, I've lost $6.30. Where do I start? It's for those who know the original add-on, then you know exactly what you're getting. I have to say that it is a significant improvement. Like, I don't think I even got the original in the ear. A lot of the switches, the VC, the panel was just absolutely atrocious. Having spent a little bit of time in this already, I can tell you that they have improved things significantly, and a lot of the VC and the functionality I don't hate. It's actually not too bad. However, as part of their marketing, they've touted, this upgraded external model and all this sort of thing. But I have to say, it's just as much shit as it was. And look, here's some examples. So you've got what look like, yeah, so they are. So you've got, they're not even transfers. So you've got some of these visuals that are, it's readable. Then look at above it, the open and the exit. Absolute trash. I just don't know what these guys are thinking. Down here on the elevator, look at that. That's a texture from the engine nacelle, because you can see. Here it is there. That's the blast zone. So what the fuck is that about? Where did I find something else over here? Okay, it wasn't on that one. It was on this one. So, God knows what the hell that texture is, and God knows what it's doing on that part. So externally, you're getting exactly what you would expect to get. The modelling is very, very, very average. Like, some things don't even line up. So I'm pretty sure that silver edge thing there is meant to be around the edge of the door, not sort of in the door itself. You can see the quality of the texturing there. It's just crap. Same with here. There's some absolute nightmarish stuff going on. And then other areas, it's not, really, really horrible. Like, there's some reasonable detail in here. It's not super detailed, but it's not that horrible. The engine's better than version 1, but that fan blade's not even sitting in there properly, or the texturing's so bad, but I'm pretty sure it's just not sitting in there properly. No, it's not. Look at that huge gap, and then it's too far over the other side. If we go inside, we can actually see, so it's not even centered. So a whole lot of just basic modeling stuff is just atrocious. Some of this has got some reasonable detail in it, and then you look inside and you think, holy fuck, what's going on in there? There's a whole lot of shit there that's like, really? Where did that come from? The main gear, once again, it's not horrible. I've seen worse. Obviously I've seen a hell of a lot better as well, but then you get, things like this. What the hell is all of that? Seriously, what is all of that crap? I don't know what that is meant to be. Just terrible. So, yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm already experiencing buyer's regret, which is unfortunate. I'm just so fucking pleased that it was only $6.30. Now, the flip side of all of this, and I'm going to be generous, average modelling, is that you've got excellent performance. So what I'm sitting at M&M Studios, is it M&M? I think it's M&M Studios, newly released Seattle, Tacoma Airport. Pretty detailed airport, lots going on. As you can see, I haven't got any AI going on at this stage. Lovely detailed airport, and I'm getting smooth performance, and you'd expect that. So something like this will work quite well on Xbox, I would imagine. But yeah, to say things are average, look at the big gap in the rudder, and look at the textures not lining up, and God knows what's going on here. Look at that. It's not even sitting. This is just I can't even put bloody words to it. For someone who's selling this for money, if it was freeware, yeah, okay, that's how it is. Good on you, mate. But this isn't freeware. Is that a hole in the roof? No, it's just a reflection, thank goodness. But this is payware. These guys want to charge you money for this thing, and I have to say, it is very much amateur hour. Very much amateur hour. But it is better than the original. So, if we go into the VC. Now this is where things do get a lot better. Now, as I indicated at the start, I wasn't even able to get this aircraft in the air the first time. Nothing in the overhead would work. Even though they released updates, I gave up on this aircraft very early on, so it may have improved significantly. I never experienced any kind of improvement, simply because I just couldn't be bothered wasting my time. But having sat in the VC, I've had a little bit of a play. There's SimBrief integration, which is excellent, and I've actually used it. I'm just going to do a circuit, Seattle to Seattle. But I don't hate the VC. There are some nice features. Visually, it's not completely horrible, though. You know, it's very, very clean. So maybe this has just come off the production line. But there are a few things in here that aren't absolutely horrible. You know, there's some nice detail around the screws, things like that. None of these things are terrible. The displays are nice and clear and big. You can tell you're sitting inside a 737 MAX. But if you look closely, I didn't realise now, but there's a dollar value next to speed. So that's good. So hopefully I'm going to make a few bucks as a result of this. But up here you can see, you know, TOG and then VNAV. So it's spilled over. All of this stuff here not sitting correctly. 16,000 just not clear. So you get a whole lot of these things where you get some things that are actually quite nice. And then you get other things you're thinking, what the hell are these people doing? So anyway, I thought what I would do is I would just quickly get things set up, and we would take it for a quick, too bad, a quick whiz around, and we'll see what it's like. I can already tell you that unless you absolutely desperately need a 737 MAX and you absolutely hate the default 737 MAX, then don't even bother looking at this. Alright, because it's simply not, well, from my perspective, it's simply not worth the money. If you were on an Xbox, it may be something you want to consider, but once again, I think you'd have to really dislike the default aircraft to really consider going for this.
Departure checks completed. Bypassing inserted.
Performance on the inside is good, but what I have discovered is there is no cockpit door that I've been able to find anyway. So it appears we are doorless, and you can't go any further than that, so you can't move around too much.
Locking gear.
So to be honest, yeah, some things you just sort of scratch your head and think, seriously, what the fuck are they thinking? But hey, come on GSX, let's get out of here. So as I said, I don't hate everything about it. If I forget about the external model, because that is absolutely atrocious, as you saw, some of the functionality on the inside isn't too bad, which is good. Which way do I want to go? I want my nose to go left.
Release parking brakes.
Right.
Commencing push.
Um,
Engine clear.
some of the sounds, not sure yet. We're about to find out. I'm not gonna hold my breath. And I guess the question is it going to use default sounds or not? Also, some of the internal lighting is really weird. So as you can see, I've got so much lighting going on here, but I have absolutely no idea where it's coming from. I haven't got this thing turned on. And if I do turn this on, you see that weird flash? Yeah, I have no idea what the hell that is about. But I can't get rid of this light. Look, it's shining in your face. It's just coming from some bloody unknown source. So that's pretty bloody bizarre. I'm just going to get that one started. I'm not worried too much. I'm pretty sure the flap handle. Let's have a look at default views. What the hell is that? Okay, oh, sorry. There you go.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
So look, the screens are quite nice. The plan, you know, you can do some stuff. It's got quite a nice menu feature. You can turn shit on and off, which is quite nice. Once again, here you can do various things with, so that's not horrible. You know, I think, well, that's actually quite cool. All of these things sort of work, and they do what you'd expect them to do, so that's quite nice. But yeah, it's like some of it just doesn't make sense. And some of these sounds are average at best. Leave that open. I'm not going to do too much with that. Turn that off. See, that doesn't make sense. A lot of this just doesn't make sense. But I'm not going to try and make any sense of it. Anyway, let's just put out a bit of flap. Yeah, sorry, GSX. I'm not convinced they aren't default sounds. Well, we got a little bit of wing flex. I wish I could figure out where to get rid of this damn light. God, it's really pissing me off. Okay, so it's got a HUD or heads-up display, so that's good. I think the original one did as well, so. See, I think that's pretty screwed up as well.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, well, let's just take it for a. Let's just see how we get on. So, taxi light on. Oh, that looks pretty bright for a taxi light, doesn't it? Holy crap! Hey, I'm not a 737 pilot, so I can't really comment whether that's accurate or not. There's a whole lot of light. As I said, performance is really good, but you'd expect it. Okay. Some of the default views are not terrible, but they're bloody bright light. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to turn it off. I really don't know the source. I've kind of tried pretty much every light switch I can find, and I still can't get rid of the damn thing. But anyway, let's see if we can just... So this will be the first time I've actually flown it. I'm not expecting much. So this is the default view. That looks terrible. It's not lined up. My question is, why are we getting issues up here with... Okay, generator 1. Standby power. It's got nothing to do with that. That's got... oh, Jesus. Nope. One more time to see if I can turn that thing off, because it was really, really pissing me off. I have no idea where that would be. So you'd think that would be it, because that doesn't seem to be doing anything, but clearly it doesn't do anything, and that's part of the problem. So I guess I'm just going to have to suck it up. Alright, let's see if I can get this HUD looking... okay, there we go. So, yeah, it's way off centre, but such is life. Okay, let's get out of here. God. Alright. I'd give it a bit of... so what I want to do is I want to try and... okay, so I don't want to do that. So how do I do that on this side? No, I don't want to do that one. This is the thing, you'd think that you'd be able to... okay, no, I can't do any of those things. Okay. Okay, well anyway, let's just... taxi. Are we gonna move? Oh yeah, we're moving. Yeah, so far it's not flash. I'm fairly sure I'm not doing 300. Oh, I'm at 300 feet, sorry. Yep. It's user error. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing 30 knots, but hey, who knows? I might be. I'm just going to turn all the lights on at this... okay, so that doesn't work. Oh, God. I hate these. Okay. The power's quite finicky. Like, it seems very sensitive, and I'm getting these weird... see when I put my mouse over there and it goes all weird. It's all a little bit off-putting, really. I'll just turn on all the lights. Right. Like, some of the buttons seem to go the opposite way that you'd expect them to. I'll turn the strobes on as well. This is probably the runway I want to be on. Actually, I'll just take off. I don't know where the hell the controls are for those lights. Yeah, so my throttles are almost halfway just to get this moving, and then it takes off. Alright, let's go. Oh God, that sounds terrible. So far, the positives are the FMC. Some of the systems are quite okay. They seem to work okay.
V1.
Oh, yeah, it's got some sounds there, V sounds.
Rotate.
Okay, V1 rotates. Is it going to take off?
V2.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we're airborne. Alright, gear up. Yep. Good, and
Positive rate. Gear up.
Excellent, thank you. I'll turn the autopilot on at this point. Just have a quick look outside. we'll do is we'll just change the time of day so we can actually have a bit of a look. There we go.
Decision height.
The decision height. I don't think I need a decision height on departure. It seems to be struggling to maintain the just get rid of flaps. Well, it's flying a hell of a lot better than the first one was. I'm just going to get rid of that because it's a waste of my time. Our altitude today is 16,000 feet. I'm still getting paid for my altitude, which is fantastic. Thank you very much. At this rate, I should make my money back, if not more. Let's go outside again and have a look. Look at that. Oh my god, that's terrible. You know, if you don't look too closely, it's kind of okay. I think I'm being a little bit generous. I think the model looks better than version 1, but look at that nose. I'm fairly sure that goes in and then bulges out. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't think that's quite where we would like it to be. Yeah. I think it's fair to say that if you're familiar with the Bredok product, I should say, then there'll be no surprises what you're getting. If you really enjoyed version 1, I think you're really going to enjoy version 2.
Decision height.
I don't think I need a decision height, dude. If you were like me and bought version 1 and immediately regretted it, then you are going to have a very similar sensation or experience with this one as well. Yeah. Look, it's designed for a certain market, and I'm sure will work nicely for those markets. I'm not sure if I can get standard to come up. No, I don't know how to get that to come up. There's no obvious click spots there. Some of the click spots as well. So like here, I'm trying to press clear on the FMC, and as you can see, there's nothing I can do. It's just this stupid bloody wheel. So I have to go all the way over here just to press that. So, Jesus, what did I just do? It's doing something. Now I've just got a completely different noise, so I don't know what that's about. No idea what that's about. As you can see, it's struggling to hold the course way offline. I think rather than fly this entire traffic pattern, I think I'm just going to hand fly it back. Yeah, we'll see what it's like to hand fly. Flight controls. So you're telling me the flight controls are fun. What the hell's that knocking? It's not someone knocking on the door, because there is no damn door. Yeah, okay, so let's just move to heading. Well, alright, we'll change to heading. Oh god, some of these sounds terribly tinny. We will change. Okay, so it's got to track that. So we'll use this. Speed brake not enough. Well, it doesn't need to be armed at the moment, dude, because I don't need it. Speed, we're way out of track for speed. Auto throttle, speed, there we go. Okay, good. And we'll just need to pull that back. No, works. And you can feel the slowing down. Speed's ramping up when it should be slowing down a lot. So some of those things aren't absolutely terrible, but yeah. As I say, it's much better than the version 1. But I think this would be targeted at a very specific audience. Not someone like me, probably not someone like you either, unless, as I say, you absolutely hate the default Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Max aircraft. It's pretty, isn't it? Mount Rainier off in the distance. I have to say I love the visuals of 2024, so much better than 2020. I need to lose a lot more altitude a lot more quickly. Sounds like I've got a woodpecker somewhere on the aircraft. Those sounds are probably a little bit too noisy. That would be my guess. Like obviously you'd never fly a 737 like this, but it's quite nice to hand fly. Well, I haven't hand flown it yet, it's all off the AP, but it seems to be doing a reasonable job of that.
Decision height.
Yeah, no. I'm way too high. Right, I'm just going to hand fly here. I'm going to do terrible things to the 737. No, I have to say it doesn't feel too bad to hand fly. It's not the fastest, response in the world, so it's probably not really realistic. Now, just let's be very clear, I've never flown a 737 Max, so I'm not in a position to say, oh yeah, that's really realistic, or no, that really sucks. But from what limited experience I've had in other aircraft, I'm fairly sure it should respond a little bit more quickly than that. But it's like, what would I know, So heading back into Seattle, we need to lose some of the speeds. No, we can't use flaps at this stage, but I'm gonna. I don't need you. So it's not absolutely horrible to fly. I give it a little bit of credit. Let me put it this way, I absolutely hated version 1. I thought it was absolutely an appalling add-on that they released. I don't hate this one quite as much. They've made some good improvements in some areas. Other things, as I said, it's just bloody amateur hour. How they could think that those things would be acceptable in this day and age, I have no idea. I'm sure I should be getting speed warnings with those flaps going down like that. Anyway, oh, that's quite nice sounds. And some of the stuff in here is quite nice, though I'm hoping like hell it's not default stuff. It could be. looks like it's maintaining speed quite nicely, so that's good. You can hear those engines spooling up, so there's the airport off in the distance there. I'm way too low. Come on engines, you need to spool up. There we go. That's good, that's good. I like that. So yeah, I don't absolutely hate this. They really need to do some work with the external model though. They really have to do some work with it and improve it. A lot of that stuff, as I said, is just amateur stuff. They should have learned from version 1. The fact that they haven't is a real concern. And the fact that there are people who will buy that and they'll go, oh yes, it's the greatest thing in the world, oh my god, it's amazing, oh! It's like, seriously, fucking hell. It's actually quite nice to hand fly, I've got to say. Yeah, I don't hate it. If that's the measure of success, that I don't hate it, then the bar is pretty low, which is unfortunate. But it's actually quite nice to hand fly. Let's just get flaps all the way down. I haven't even bothered looking at what this looks like. Let's just have a quick look outside. I'm going to pause it. Okay. Well, I need to get rid of that for a start. That's my bad. There we go. Let's go and have a look at some of this modelling. So, you know, it's not horrible. And some of that's not horrible. As I said, it's certainly a downside better than version 1. But there's some things, as I said, that are just an amateur hour. That's not horrible. You know, I'm at the point with this where I may actually consider flying it again. And I tend to be a one-horse pony when it comes to aircraft. If I don't like it, that's it. It's gone. I don't tend to fuck around. But this isn't horrible. Right, so we need to just drop our speed significantly, if I can. Yeah, we'll just make it 140. No, I'm not flying particularly well. Yeah, but as I said, it's not absolutely horrible to hand fly. I need to figure out how to turn off those damn lights. That is just a massive pain in the ass. I have no idea where it's coming from. Oh, maybe I should just focus on flying. Let's have a look at this HUD again. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that really does piss me off, to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm going to have to pause it again. I just need to get that eyeline set up. There we go. And I need to be a little bit closer. There we go. That's better. So I'm way too low at this stage. So how are we doing? We're a little bit slow. Not really. It's okay. Of course, I'm not flying an ILS or anything. That's why the HUD's not showing. But if okay, well, that doesn't seem to be doing a hell of a lot. Well, just focus on flying, John. So a bit low here. Yeah, the sounds are pretty bad. But you know, the fact they paid $6.30. I can't complain too much. I've had worse. But still, if you were paying full price for this, I don't know what the full price is even. Yeah. Look, there's a lot about it I really... There's quite a bit about it that I actually quite like. As I said, the VC is quite capable. It hand flies reasonably okay. It's like it's not absolutely terrible. A lot of this approach being the way it is has got nothing to do with the plane, it's more to do with me not concentrating properly. It follows a heading really well. It doesn't follow a flight plan particularly well. I need to rationalise that though and say, well look, this is the first flight, so you know, you'd say, well, give it a little bit of a chance. It does seem a little bit wobbly, but yeah, I understand I'm a little bit high. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. A bit of flare. There we go, on the ground. I assume thrusters, reverse thrusters are working. Yep, they must have been. Alright. So that wasn't too bad a flight. Yeah. If the full price for this aircraft was $6.30, then I would say, well, it's probably pretty good value. It comes with quite a few liveries, though a lot of them don't even relate to any real world operators. As I said, I don't know what the actual full price will be for this product. $6.30 is probably a reasonable price to pay for it. Though as I said though, you get a reasonable amount of functionality in the VC and the FMC, and as I said, you can use your sim brief. It will import a flight plan, so that's quite good. Though that is also pretty basic as well at the moment, or these days. If it doesn't do that, then there's usually something really badly wrong. The quality of the modelling is okay in some areas, absolutely abysmal in others. The sounds are really poor, though there were a couple in there that I heard that were quite good, but in the main they're pretty terrible. The lighting, there's all sorts of lighting options, but they don't tend to make sense. Some of them are absolutely abysmal, and there doesn't seem to be any way to turn them off, which is problematic. Yeah, so I think, as I indicated, this is one of those add-ons that if you absolutely hate the default 737 MAX 8 and you want a reasonable flying experience, I find this to be a lot more stable to fly than the default MAX, to be fair. That doesn't mean it's good, it just means it's not as bad as the default MAX. So I think it's got some stuff going for it, but in the main I don't think it's going to be particularly attractive to most people. But I don't think I'm its target market. I don't think I'm the target market, and that's okay. It's perfectly okay. I think the key thing is people need to know what they're getting. So go into it with your eyes wide open, check out plenty of reviews, see what other people have to say about it. As I said, there's some stuff going for it. There's probably a whole lot of stuff that isn't great, but it's a hell of a lot better than version 1. I'll give them that. They've clearly made some fairly significant improvements, which is great. But for me, the sooner we see a... Oh God, I can get rid of my spoilers. See, this shows you that the pilot is usually most of the problem. That's certainly what I am. Oh, so click spots again. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff about it that really isn't up to the level that we expect. Yeah, the modelling, the external modelling, it's like, come on guys, how hard is it to get the right texture on the right part of the plane? How hard is it to get your fan blade centered in the engine? Seriously, where are your beta testers? What the hell are they doing? And just the quality of some of the textures as well, you know, is the example. Just appalling. In this day and age, seriously? And yet, you know, here, push in red flap, this looks great, opens fine, exits fine, but then above it, yeah, and look at this circle, come on, what the hell is that about? Surely you can have a little bit more quality. Now, yep, it doesn't have a cabin, which is perfect. Oh, it does have a cabin, but not the cabin in the traditional sense. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Oh my God, psychedelic. Holy crap. You know, look, I don't think it would take a hell of a lot to take this from, oh my God, to something that was actually, you know, reasonable. I think the guts of it is there, but it lets itself down in so many areas where it shouldn't really let itself down. You know, this is a classic example. How do you get an engine texture on the bottom of an elevator? Please, someone explain that to me. On both of them. How does that happen? Just what the hell is that about? Makes no sense. So yeah, you know, just go into it with your eyes wide open. See it for what it is. It will suit some people, other people will absolutely hate it. Check out other reviews. It's not one that I can recommend at all. But as I said, there are parts of it that I didn't hate, and I think I probably will take it for another flight, because there was enough in there that it's like, yeah, this is quite good. And it certainly operates better than the default 737. But there's a whole lot about it that, yeah. So yeah, so there you go. There's a look at the Bredok version 2 737 MAX 8. Yeah, hopefully that was useful. It was a little bit of fun. I enjoyed flying it. But, you know, I can watch paint dry and enjoy that as well, so that's probably not a very good yardstick to use. That fan blade, it's so far off centre. That one's not quite as bad, I think, but that one is just abysmal. Anyway, you know what you're getting, so there you go. Have an awesome day, and happy flying.